All right. So the last scenario that we have, well, I shouldn't really say last, but the one that I wanted to touch on is going to be, what is it? I just have technical data. Collect technical data. This is the one that comes with the jem'hadar battleship, and it's actually a fairly, I mean, none of these scenarios have been overly complicated. You know, there's not pages and pages of rules. This one has the normal 3 cards, but it's like 4 sentences worth of rules. And I like that. I like it when people keep it simple, stupid. So, the initial setup, the Dominion player gets 80 squadron points, including one and only one jem'hadar battleship. The Federation player gets 40 squadron points, including one and only one Federation ship, which must have a scan action in its bar. And the ships are set up as a standard 2-player game. If there's anything I would have to knock this scenario for, it's that it's an open space. A little dull, a little boring.
Yeah.
But
it might just be that if you don't use open space, it makes it a little bit too hard for the Fed player to accomplish their goal, because the Dominion can just move around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But yeah, the special rules, very short and sweet. Sensor probes. If the Federation ship is within range 1 to 2 of the Dominion ship and performs a scan action, it gets a mission token. This represents the data that has been collected by the sensor probes. Each time the Federation player attacks, he may re-roll one of his attack dice for each mission token on his ship card. A nice little bonus. The final objectives for the Federation player, they have to exit the play area with 3 mission tokens on their ship card. Alternatively, they could destroy the Dominion ship. Good luck. Maybe not as hard as it sounds, but it could be a thing. For the Dominion player, all they have to do is destroy the Federation ship. Short, sweet, simple, and I have to say that I'm not sure how well this adapts, because one of the major points of this scenario seems to be the seems to play off the low maneuverability of the jem'hadar battleship.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm very tempted to just take the Defiant here and just stay behind you the entire time.
Mm-hmm. The Defiant or the Valiant?
The Valiant, because I don't think I'm going to need the immune to crits thing if you can't hit me ever.
So this scenario is based on the DS9 episode, and I looked it up. It's actually called Valiant. And this was the only other Defiant class ship that was being captained by Red Squadron cadets or whatnot.
Technically, spoilers for those who haven't finished Deep Space Nine, but it's like 20 years old now, so whatever. The Defiant gets destroyed and is replaced by the USS Sao Paulo, which is promptly renamed the Defiant.
But then there's the Valiant.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to spoil my Valiant ending. Okay.
No. You're like, oh, it's the only other Defiant class.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
Technically, there have been 3.
There were 2 Defiant, but they were both whatever.
I know.
But yeah, the little cadets thought it was a good idea to take on a battleship with their little Valiant Defiant class, and here's the spoiler alert for that one. It didn't end well. I think in this scenario, though, you have a bit of a better chance. So, thematically, well, let's go easy mode here. Easy mode here would be you play off the Dominion ships, for the Federation player, you play off the Dominion ships' poor maneuverability. You just find something that has a really good maneuver dial to get behind it, which could easily be something like the NX-01 even. And you just sit there and scan, and you leave when you're done. Like, it doesn't have a requirement for any board edge you have to get off of. You just have to go.
Transwarp drive is another one that's very good here.
Mm-hmm. Transwarp drive, yeah, Zeodax, Picard maneuver, anything that moves you really fast. In shock, since it's not actually specifically restricted to whatever you call it.
Federation stuff,
Federation
yeah.
pure.
I think also there is a lesson in the episode from which this scenario derives. in the episode, they actually get the data, but they decide to stay and fight the battleship anyway, and then their ship gets blown up.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be the Valiant. Don't do that.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
For the Dominion side, I think since this is really a scenario designed to show off, the maneuvering game, which I also think makes it a fairly decent choice for a new player scenario. The Dominion ship definitely needs one, if not two, of the what's it called? The dorsal weapons arrays.
Oh my God! Yes.
It's like, oh, you're behind me. Well, I can't shoot with you with my 6-power gun, but at least I'll shoot at you with a 3-power gun. Make it closer to a fair fight, since I outnumber you in point value 2-to-1.
Yeah.
Is there Dominion stuff? I don't play a lot of Dominion. Is there Dominion stuff that gives auxiliary power tokens?
That gives auxiliary power tokens?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, because the cheap way for the Dominion would just give them a bunch of auxiliary power tokens, so they can't scan.
Oh, that'd be pretty nasty.
Yeah, but I don't really know if you can do that. I mean, I guess you could with like Ferengi EM Pulse or something, but
because they will probably get out of your firing arc really darn quick.
Yeah, that's correct.
Mm-hmm. But aside from that, the Dominion ship, since you know that the Federation ship has to get kind of close to you, the other thing I could recommend is, well, the jem'hadar crew. 40 points on a Federation ship usually means that they have some tasty upgrades, at least 1 or 2. And if they're crew upgrades, you can either steal one, discard one, or just mess up their plans at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you have anything else to spend the 80 points on.
Oh, hey, by the way, speaking of points, for this one, considering that they're probably not going to try and kill you, take the generic battleship. There's no reason to take the 4th Division. Its ability is useless, and you're not going to need the extra shield, and you're not going to need the extra weapon.
Mm-hmm. That'll save you a quick couple points. Who else is good with there? Did anything good come out of the battle cruiser that might be good for this scenario?
A lot of good stuff came out of the battle cruiser. Let me see.
I'm trying to think. There's the Weyoun that prevents them from attacking, but I don't think you really need that.
Well, I mean, yeah, because they'll just scan you and run away.
I don't really see a lot. Like, most of the stuff that came on that one is, I don't know, maybe you could use Captain Kevon.
If you wanted to prevent them from winning by destroying you, you could run Garrick with Weyoun 6 and conditional surrender.
Oh God, no, we don't.
I'm sorry, I just had to say it.
No, I mean, really, you really want something that can turn you around, and there's nothing that can get the battleship that kind of maneuverability to get you in the main arc.
No.
The only other thing I could think of is if you throw on the cloaking device from the Keldon class and use the try to abuse the sensor echo action to keep them in a less favorable position.
Is there a way to deal with the ridiculous action requirement of that without going to resources?
Well, but here's the thing. You don't... Well, you want to shoot at them, but you can pick and choose the times that you shoot at them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you could do, by the way, if you wanted to... since you have 80 points, you might as well actually just use Weyoun as 6 as he was originally intended and just take a couple of the really expensive, really good discard-only jem'hadar crew.
Mm-hmm. And then they use their ability and you keep Weyoun. Or you keep the crew. But 40 points, I mean, the Federation player isn't going to have that much to throw at you.
Mm.
But
right, because spending over half of that, You have to figure they're probably spending 25 to 30 points on ship plus captain.
Yeah, that's a good assessment.
Even 32 or 34 if you're using, the high skill captains, because really the Federation ship wants to be on the higher skill here, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the Federation might almost go Picard plus Admiral Kirk just to get up to 11.
I mean, even if you wanted to run, I mean, this would not be quite as thematic, but you could run the Defiant with a cloaking device, and that seems like a decent way to help you avoid the first shot of the Dominion player. Throw ransom on there, or
Yeah, you know something? I would do that. I would just cloak and never attack.
just get your scans and get gone.
Yeah. Or something else to consider for feds is high energy sensor sweep. Take a free scan, do whatever you want with the rest of your turn. Let me think. What other things would I do on defense?
Yeah, I haven't really found anything particularly, game-breaking about either side.
Oh, Picard maneuver, by the way, will help you get in range to start your scan and lets you duck in there for your first scan fairly fearlessly.
Oh yeah, Picard maneuver is great, man. Just all around, I think.
Yeah, you'd have to run something like Scotty to get rid of the aux token it gives you, but
And I like Scotty. But yeah, I mean the scenario is pretty straightforward. Adapting the scenario, I'm not sure will work very well since, like I was saying earlier, the big point that it kind of plays off of is the battleship's low maneuverability.
Yeah, you don't want to do this against a Borg cube.
Unless you find some way to limit the Borg cube so it can only fire in one certain direction.
Or unless you're playing the board yourself, but then then you're just playing with your balls, basically.
I could see a scout cube trying to do this little scanning mission.
Oh God, the poor scout cube.
Don't say poor scout cube. There's nothing poor about any of the Borg ships.
Well, the scout cube has like 6 durability.
It's got 3 defense. That's plenty.
Yeah, tell that to your cloakers, Will.
Shh. I can roll defense dice when I need to. But yeah, I mean, would you guys have any idea of adapting this scenario anywhere? I mean, pretty much any side can take the Federation side, apart from, the guys that don't have scan, of course.
So no Romulans.
Hey, I could take on this scenario with a Vo.
And 3 Romulan pilots?
No. See, here's the thing. It's scan action. I thought about that. You have to specifically take the scan action to get the mission token. Which you can only do once per turn.
I'd still take the Vo, though. It could make for a fun match.
Well,
and I would still try to kill the ship.
By the way, the episode upon which this is based, this is an interesting bit of trivia. This was the producers of Star Trek saying basically that Star Wars: A New Hope wouldn't work. In other words, even if you have a big giant thing with some kind of technical weakness, you don't want to put a ship of fairly untrained people up against it.
Stay on target.
So, yeah, exactly. Well, that's what it is. Like, watch the episode. It's like A New Hope up until the point where their secret, amazing technical data doesn't destroy the thing, and then everything goes wrong. And it ends on a very ambiguous note. It's a great example of Star Trek as moral commentary. I highly recommend that episode. But yeah, something like the Vo would be fun just because it actually feels like I would actually do a Vo against a Borg sphere in this scenario, just because it feels like a Death Star attack.
That's good.
Goodbye, Vo.
Yeah.
You're a cruel, cruel man. Let's see.